It's a place that normally only royalty or heads of state get to see. But that's all changing thanks to the modern spin of our new Governor-General.
Most families prefer to keep their home private, but this is a regular day in the Mostyn household.
And are you excited about today?
Absolutely.
This is one of Australia's best-known homes, Admiralty House, perched on Sydney Harbour. Most Australians can only ever hope to catch a glimpse as they go past on the ferry. But the current resident is changing that.
Come on through.
Thank you.
And do sign the visitor's book.
You see, in her first year as Governor-General, Her Excellency Sam Mostyn has been doing the job a little differently.
Your Excellency.
It's wonderful to have you here, Amanda. Come on in. Welcome to the official study.
Thank you. Now, you weren't necessarily the obvious choice for Governor-General.
I don't come as a former governor. I don't come with a military history of my own. And I'm not a man. I do think the Prime Minister wanted to appoint a woman, so I think he wanted to establish that gender should not be a barrier to serving.
Did you ever think about saying no?
Of course. It was a shocking suggestion when he raised it with me. It wasn't what I thought I was meeting him to discuss. I knew that there would be a number of people that would not be happy about it. That wasn't a good enough reason not to do the job, and I knew that when you're asked to serve, actually it's important to say yes.
The past year has included demystifying, redecorating and rearranging.
A lot of First Nations people would come in, and there was a very big portrait of Captain Cook here, and then the first Governor-General of Australia sitting there. And so it felt it had a particular tone.
And tell me about this painting here.
So this is a painting by a Kimberley artist. Indigenous people notice it straight away and feel a sense of, there's a sigh almost, like, oh, we feel welcome here. But we did move Captain Cook for a very important reason, in addition to that sense of belonging. I can show you the issue.
Please do. So they've advised you to put it here, but it is sort of under the stairs.
Well, it's simply the best place for it to hang so that it's not light damaged and that whatever's happening to it from a conservation point of view doesn't get worse.
The Governor-General wants all Australians to see a part of themselves within the walls of this old home.
So we've tried to do it so that it captures as much of the incredible history of this country, but doesn't forget that the last 50 years in particular, the waves of migrants and refugees who've come, who are now Australian citizens and are such a monumental part of our success, can come in here and say, okay, I'm not forgotten.
Sam Mostyn is a trailblazer, hailing from a stunning corporate career. She's served on more than a dozen boards and was the first female AFL commissioner.
It is the anniversary of my first year in the office.
Her mission now to reshape how Australians interact with the nation's highest office.
When you first came to the role, I think there was a lot of commentary around your own position on republicanism. So to answer those questions, are you a Republican?
I have no view on the Republic issue because in my role, what I'm most concerned about is the will of the Australian people. So I think the role of the Governor-General in a modern sense is to make sure that everyone understands how our system works. Welcome to Government House, where we're here to perform a very important function.
The GG practices what she preaches, putting herself out there, embracing the world of influencers to get some likes for democracy.
So I thought some of you might be interested to know what happens here. And so we're doing that using modern technology. And I'm increasingly wanting to open up everything I do as an explainer so that people aren't curious or think it's mysterious. Welcome again.
Thank you, ma'am.
What became really apparent to us in the first few months was that very few Australians know what the Governor-General does. And then I read that less than 25% of Year 10 kids understand the civics of this country. Most adults really don't have a firm grasp on how a democracy works, unless you're a bit of a constitutional law nerd like me. So come on into the reception room.
And she is aware she's treading a path forged by men.
It's an important room because it houses the portraits of 3 of the first 5 Governors-General.
And do you see yourself in these men?
I see the role, but these were young Englishmen. They were not Australian born. But it's a reminder of a time when this is what a Governor-General did look like.
Not anymore. As only the second woman to be appointed to this high position, Sam Mostyn is a Governor-General for a modern Australia.
Our gender over time should be the least interesting thing about us. Unfortunately, we still live in a time where it's probably the most interesting. So I have a message for women, which is put no barriers on yourself.
Sam Mostyn's open door policy in her job as GG is melded with being a mum and wife, someone who loves connecting with Australians and knitting.
I've also heard that the staff, when they leave here, perhaps get a Governor-General made scarf. Is that true?
They do. And so I'm not a very good knitter. I can just do very basic things. Scarves are about it.
Knitting aside, the Governor-General is a high achiever who's not about to let her standards slip.
What is the plan for the remaining 4 years of your term?
I'd hope to think by the end of my term that the words care and kindness are so embedded in our national framework of how we think about our values. And so if I've moved the dial a little bit on that and civics education and given people a reason to think really positively about our future, I feel like I've met my own expectation in the role. I feel incredibly privileged and lucky, and I might have a big rest at the end of the 5 years perhaps.
And Admiralty House will be open to visitors again later this year.